We're at the confluence of the Ohio, Allegheny, and Monongahela Rivers at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, PA. This was the scene just a few moments ago as the Pittsburgh faithful were fired up by the hometown Steelers taking the field. They're all set as they'll match up with the Cleveland Browns. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And they'll run for the first time with Najee Harris. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down. These two teams, you might recall, met back in mid-season, Week 8 to be exact. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. From the gun, it's Kaepernick. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked up by Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown. The extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make? And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Still 15 yards to go, 2nd down. Throwing now is Kaepernick. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. So, Charles, you talk about this head coach. And let's face it, this season certainly has not gone the way many had expected or at least hoped. And I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier this week.
Yeah, we certainly did, didn't we? Because, let's face it, he's heard the whisper.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Myles Garrett in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. The Steelers send out their punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Going for the deep ball. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A big connection on that one. 39 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. It's Melvin Ingram on the tackle.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
2nd down, here's Chubb again.
And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down.
Well, when you get an elite running back like he is, sometimes you've got to employ the by any means necessary method to get him down.
Yeah, sometimes you're relieved even if a flag comes out. But if you just get the hand up and you get it on the mask, you can kind of get away with that. But as soon as you curl it around a finger or the hand, that's pretty easy for everyone to see, and they'll call that one every time.
Following the penalty, Chubb. And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Nick Chubb with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And it's now 14-0.
So the extra point good, and the roughing call going to move the ball out to the 50 for the kickoff.
And I think this is a good chance to pin them deep if you can land the kickoff inside the 5-yard line or so. Gain some field position for your defense.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Kaepernick now on 1st down.
And this one nearly picked off. Kind of surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but get away it does, and it's 2nd down. Second and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed 1st down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Kaepernick now on 1st down. It's brought in by Harris. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
That last throw, Charles, puts him over 15,000 yards passing now for his career.
And, Brandon, they're not going to stop the game and give him the game ball here, but that's still a pretty impressive number, and he's got plenty of more good football ahead of him. Although I would say the team should give him a game ball after it's all over.
On 1st down, Kaepernick.
That's swung out wide to Harris.
They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Kaepernick to throw again. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. And the Browns are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
The Browns drive about to get started. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Good gain on first, has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Well, these two teams met in Cleveland earlier in the year with the Browns coming out on top. So if they can win here in Pittsburgh, they'd be able to claim the season sweep. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Mayfield to throw it this time. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Well, Charles, you think about this defense. This week in preparation, you couldn't hide the fact from them that they're facing a team that's lost 7 in a row. You just wonder if they prepared the same way they normally do.
Yeah, that's a great question because normally that preparation goes into what you do well on defense. What is the best thing that you do going into a game? But in this case, you might want to take all the tendencies and throw them out the window. I would expect them to throw every trick play in the book right out of the gate in order to try and get something established and get things moving.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
I like what they tried to do there, tried to hit him with something quick, get the ball in his hands, and hope he could make some yards after the catch and pick up a 1st down. Weren't able to do so on that play.
Returnable here for Callaway. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They'll try the right side with Harris. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. You know, you're following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under. CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
So, Charles, here we are, Week 17. Both of these teams playing their 16th game of the regular season. And obviously for decades, that was the full season. But as we all know, a little strange, still one more game to go next week.
Yeah, Brandon, I think we're both interested to see how things play out next week because we know their division titles and wild card spots up for grabs. So those teams, no doubt they'll be all in. But how would you like to go in front of...
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Walker. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Second straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to nerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one? Or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
From the 31, Mayfield over the middle. That's caught by Schwartz. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Good, strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. They give the Chubb out of the gun. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Mayfield looks to throw. He's going to drop this one down for Chubb. And a good gain here of 9 from the 19 down to the 10. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. Chubb fighting, but nowhere to go. He's going to be stopped short of that first down marker. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard. And this one is right through. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
This taken in at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. On 1st and 10, here's Kaepernick. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Anthony Walker. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. Well, we heard all week that they were going to put the football in the air a lot. The problem is that is now 4 interceptions, Charles, that he has thrown in this first half. How do you treat a situation? What do you say to your quarterback right now?
Boy, that's an interesting question because a lot of it depends on the head coach and the people making the decisions. You have to know your quarterback and know if he's mentally tough enough to have a chance to turn it around. Or is he a guy that maybe you've seen enough and it's time to go to the backup? But right now what you're rooting for is your defense to help keep you in the game, to give him an opportunity to get back on track.
He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And he's going to have a first down here. They're also into field goal range at the 28.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
A first down throw for Mayfield. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. Touchdown! Andy Janovich, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Browns are able to add on to their first half lead.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And with a 3-score deficit staring him in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
And now here is another interception. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Following the interception, Mayfield. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33. Mayfield off the play fake. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that is caught. But he will come down out of bounds, says the side judge. Incomplete.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
And he's going to miss this one. Wide to the left from distance. It's no good. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. Fields this way up at the 17. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30. The Browns drive about to get started. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
Second and 10. Mayfield down. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on first and second down, bring up third and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
To throw, Mayfield. He's going to air one out. A fight for it, and this is caught. It's caught indeed. A big play that time for Cleveland.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for first and 10. From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. And he can only manage to get a couple. Second and 8 coming up. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Throwing, Mayfield. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5.
These type of plays are backbreakers for a defense. They thought they had him hemmed in, thought they were going to get him on the ground with the pass rush, but were unable to do so. He gets away, picks up a big first down, and sets up first and goal inside the 10.
They'll run with Chubb. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Second and goal from inside the 5. From the gun, Mayfield. Touchdown, Browns. Donovan Peoples-Jones, his first touchdown on the year. And the Browns take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. McLaughlin for the extra point. And the lead is now an even 30.
Makes the score Browns 30, Steelers nothing.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now...
And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Eric Ebron, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers are able to close the gap just a bit. Boswell good with the extra point. That will shave a bit off the lead as it's down to a 23-point game. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And that one bounces out of the back of the end zone, so we'll start the drive at the 25 on the touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10. Mayfield's throw taken in by Landry. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Mayfield. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Mayfield to throw it. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 24-yard line.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. Buying time to his left. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair, because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Well, yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run too. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
2nd down, here's Chubb again. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. And takes this one in for a Brown score. Nick Chubb with his 14th touchdown of the year, second of the game. And the Browns look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And that will extend this big lead.
37. Steelers 7.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35.
I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. And this is going to be a Steelers first down as he's able to get this up past the 40.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Hey, 91.
Now they'll throw with Kaepernick. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson.
If he's their best threat on offense, use your number one cover guy on defense. It doesn't matter about size.
They have had him locked up. That just his first catch of the game. Big reason why they're down. Throwing his Kaepernick on third down. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Johnson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 26-yard line. To throw, Kaepernick. That is caught by Smith-Schuster. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. They hand this off to Harris. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6.
And when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Shotgun snap now for Kaepernick. Flush to his right. And it's caught. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Oh, and it's no good. He tugged it wide left, and that will keep our score right where it is. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. And it is starting to appear, thankfully for them, that this is the week they're going to put it all together and end that long losing streak. They're not home yet, but in control in the fourth quarter. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. Second down, here's Chubb again. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 53 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and wind down some clock with Chubb. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop. So instead of running, Mayfield's going to throw it here. To the right side, and he's got Landry complete. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And he's going to dump this off to his running back, Hunt. And he is going to have the Browns first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3. I think everyone in the stadium saw that big hit coming.
And I, as a former defensive back, have to admit I'm a little disappointed. He actually was able to hold on to the ball. He brought the lumber on that play. Give my man a whole lot of credit for taking the hit and possessing the football.
And picking up the first down. First down, Mayfield. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Cameron Sutton. And the Steelers are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
that's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Working from the gun, it's Kaepernick. Open man, completes it to Smith-Schuster. Now the Steelers going to use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. To throw is Kaepernick. He gets it complete to Harris. And they can't bring him down. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done.
I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Charles, we saw a lot.